Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coast Files. Today, we are not doing our usual ocean mysteries and true crime. Today
No,
is
no
a
mysteries.
very merry Coastmas episode, and I'm Chantel.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Meghan. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And this comes out on Christmas Day. So extra
like
festive.
real Merry Christmas.
And obviously, everyone stopped what they're doing and is listening to us right now.
Right. You can ignore your family for the next 45 minutes or so.
I'm just going to pour a little Smirnoff kissed caramel into this Dunder Mifflin shot glass.
Mm.
And I'm going to do a shot.
Adorable.
I already did my shot in the kitchen to get
I'll
ready.
pretend I was there. Lindsay, are you going to do
But
a
I'm
shot?
going to drink. I'll do a
I'm
big gulp
not
of this
doing
for you.
a shot, but there is a shot in this drink.
Your mug is shaped like a heart.
Heart. It is.
So I'm
That's
going to get
cool.
into
So
these.
cute.
I'll tell you the story behind this mug when I get to my part of the Christmas episode.
I'm
But
excited.
it says rum and eggnog, and I sprinkled it with some nutmeg. So we'll see if it's good because it's an oat
So
milk
classic.
eggnog. I kind of wish it was just regular
Mine has
eggnog.
oat milk in it too.
I'm
This
excited
is
to hear.
It's called a Silver Bells. It's something that my aunt and uncle introduced my
so
mom and I to.
festive.
Silver
Okay.
Bells.
Cheers to everyone.
It tastes good.
It tastes
Cheers.
good.
Tastes
Cheers.
delicious.
Oh my God, that's
yeah.
good.
It's not as like heavy as real
Eggnog.
and I
Which
don't
means you
want
could
to get
probably
the
drink
real
more of
stuff.
it.
Yeah, but the real stuff like always expires faster, and the
Mm.
oat milk eggnog was good till like Christmas. So I'm like, all right, if I just buy the oat milk one, I should be.
You mean good
Good to
until
go.
today when this comes out?
Well, I bought two, and I just opened one, and the expiry date is like first week of January.
Oh my God.
So any one I
So good.
open now will be good for a week, but the second one
Meghan?
will be good on Christmas.
I just looked at Megan's shoulder and I got so creeped out for a second. I was like, there's something behind Megan because I completely forgot that she put a skull there with a
Yes,
Right.
for
Santa hat.
those that are only listening and will never watch us on YouTube, which you should
Mhm.
because we're cute and fun.
Yeah,
but things
Also
happen
listen
sometimes.
because we need the listener count too.
What you
on
can
our
do is
audio.
you
We're
can
asking
watch
a
the
lot.
YouTube and simultaneously listen to it on
Press play
Spotify
on
at
the
the same
audio.
time.
Well, actually, no, that
It
does not
almost
work.
will line up. It'll almost line up.
No,
Wait,
it won't
wait.
because I completely cut things differently than you.
I know. That's why I'm saying it'll almost work.
This is all to
Okay,
say
okay.
I have a skull next to me that has a Santa hat on it, and that's all. And he doesn't have a
That was-
name, but
Hmm.
he's cute. And I got him at HomeSense, aka Home Goods for you in the States. And it
Mhm.
has all the different like names of the bones, like the occipital or orbital. I don't know.
Did you steal this from Chantel?
No, I have my own. By the way, I didn't say I'm having a paloma in a tiki glass, which used to be a
very
candle.
Christmassy.
Very
I
cute.
love it.
Licky Macca is the thing to
That made me just
say.
think of the time we went to the tiki bar
and
in
got turned
Chicago.
away because it was too
Well, we
busy.
didn't get turned away. There was just nowhere for us to sit, so we got to stand and enjoy.
Was I there? Or is that when you guys went to Chicago
No, that
without
was
me
when
because
we
you
went
hate
to
me?
Chicago without you. Right. Well, because you
but I know.
actually didn't come with us.
But
I
we are
know,
going to go
it's my fault.
together because
I was
Lindsay and I
poor.
still talk about how we like wanted to go. It's just not cool. Like what you can't sit down. You
Mhm.
can't even sit at the
Mhm.
bar. There was nowhere to go, so we just anyway. It's going to come up. So I have my drink in a giant old candle glass,
I
and
love
then I
it.
also have a
That's called
backup
repurposing.
in a tumbler, insulated
You
tumbler.
reduce, reuse,
Yes.
recycle right there.
I brought a backup margarita
did.
just in case.
You didn't
I
like the
wasn't
oat milk?
sure if the eggnog and rum was going to taste good. It tastes pretty good. I'm starting to get more rum, so.
Oh.
I
Oh,
did stir it,
another throwback to our episode that came out this time last week. Guess what I sweetened this with?
What?
Maple syrup.
Oh, yay.
Did you actually
Ooh.
forget? I was like,
Yeah,
are
I
you
did.
be-
I was thinking like it's
Listen, I'm just
llama,
here for
so
the
like
days.
grapefruit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and also I had no lime juice, so I used lemon juice. But hey, we're just trying to get through the day.
Well,
I
because
like
you
it.
used all the limes in the entire world last time I was there. So
Yeah.
Like a whole bag full of
Megan
lime
Like,
juice.
husband, why did you buy a huge bag of limes like this? And then we
And
used
yet,
like 3/4 of them.
I think you juiced
So-
20 limes, and then
It was a
we were
lot.
it was so late at night that we barely even drank.
and we were
The
just
drinks, you mean?
full. We
We
had-
were just full.
Did
We
I
were
make us
happy
dinner?
and we
had
were
good
full.
food. We were just
Right.
full.
Yeah, we had
Um,
the fish tacos that night.
Oh,
Your famous fish tacos.
Yeah.
God, those were good fish tacos.
We had to have a midnight margarita though. That was
Mhm.
just
It just had to happen.
It touched my lips. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you need. I don't even know, Chantel. Did you really say what we're doing today?
I just said that it's not usual. It's a Coastmas, so
So
that's on you.
explain. Okay, well, that's on you.
Listen, I thought in the script you said you were gonna discuss that, so I just said Coastmas.
I'm even
That's all
looking
I'm
at the
here
script.
for.
That's true. You were writing our script, Megan, and it was
Mhm.
more
It
like
said
a
something
couple
about
bullet
like, take it
points,
away,
so we're-
Megan.
It's
you
more
know?
like an outline, and it does not say that. That's hilarious, though. Take it away. We're so scripted here. Basically, what we're going to do, we're not going to edit anything, and this is not going to be a true episode where we have a case or anything specific, but each of us is going to have a little section where we're going to do whatever we want, and everyone's kind of planned their own thing. I'm doing almost like a little mini case, sort of, but not really. Lindsay's having more of a conversation with all of us, which I'm excited about, and it's Christmas
And I'm
themed,
ranting
obviously.
at you.
And Chantel has an angry rant. So, I mean, we have our drinks. I also have my Tums because I'm having a lot of
Perfect.
acid.
Good idea. Because
So,
we're in our 30s.
I'm just
And
getting
that's apparently
prepared.
just a staple of your life.
So I think that, Chantel, if you're ready to yell at us or yell at the world, yell at clouds, I mean, I'm ready. And I'm going to pour another Smirnoff caramel shot. Also, drink responsibly, except maybe not today. Today, just do whatever you feel.
Today, do whatever you want. No one has to work tomorrow, or at least they shouldn't.
Right.
The
No, your
boyfriend
own
has
limits.
entered the room to a... He said he was going to randomly come and dance behind me today, so we'll see if that happens.
We're
Okay.
only like 6 minutes in, and wait until we're a little bit
I know.
sauced.
Okay.
Okay, you start. I'm going to do a shot.
So, all right. I like it. Today is my hot take on Krampus has a bad rap because it's all Santa's fault. So, Krampus has been around for a while now, centuries longer than Saint Nick, and tales have been told about him in Austria, Germany, Hungary, Slovenia, and in parts of Italy as well.
Oh,
Okay.
And he started off as ancient Alpine pagan traditions, basically.
I love it already.
So, Krampus back then was more of an idea. He was the embodiment of the harsh winter times during midwinter celebrations like Yule and solstice festivals. He would be evoked during these traditions to scare away their evil spirits, and he was more of like symbolic punishment rather than corporal punishment at that time.
Is punishment anything like punishment?
Punishment.
I'm guessing he's not pretty based on how you
Oh.
described so far.
Well, okay, so to get to it.
Okay.
Gifts at this time, too, were not given to each other, but rather they were given more as offerings to deities to make sure that their harvest would be bountiful in the coming months after
So
winter.
deities aren't doing too hot anymore because I've never once given a gift to a deity.
I know. Instead, we're
For
giving it to
Christmas.
each other. And like your gift that you get is supposed to be after a bountiful harvest. Okay. So like, here, gods, we give you this. And gods are like, in the springtime, you guys are going to eat, basically. So during this time, Krampus was actually a fairy / deity himself, and he was portrayed as part goat, which was often a symbol of fertility back then. So like,
Oh.
fertility, good
I was going to say like the
harvests.
devil because that's normally what you goats. You think
No,
like
not in
devilish.
ancient Alpine pagan traditions. Goats were signs of fertility.
Oh,
So basically, he
Goats
is
fuck.
a pre-Christian
yeah,
OG.
that's why I'm a Capricorn because sea goat.
Goats fuck. Like,
Me?
wow.
Fuck.
Right.
Okay.
Which is perfect for a podcast. Sea goat, Capricorn.
Sea goat.
I am.
It is, and I
just
am
killing it.
I am a
You were crap.
crab. Thank you. I'm like, what am I?
I am half horse and like to shoot arrows.
Yes, you're weird.
Very nice.
Okay.
I'm
So
on the land
basically-
by myself. It sucks.
Yeah, we're in the water. So basically, he's a pre-Christian OG, and he was helping people ring in the winter solstice. He was a free spirit. Not like, oh girl, like you're such a free spirit, but like he was free at the time.
Oh,
Okay,
girl.
like he roamed freely around.
Yeah.
Doing
his own thing.
Yeah, and then Christianity entered the chat and fucks everything up, as Christianity does. But at
Also,
first,
I covered this too, so whatever Chantel doesn't answer.
yeah, no.
maybe I answer.
There's gonna. I know you are. That's why I
There's gonna
loosely
be
touched
overlap,
on this.
for
Okay,
sure.
so Christianity at first tried to stamp him out and replace him with Saint Nick, but Krampus just wasn't having it, and Christian crusade began. Still, like continued across Europe, and instead, what they did what Christianity does best, and they were like, you know what, we'll change our beliefs again. Okay, so like Krampus, you can stay, but you're kind of like the evil to Saint Nick's good now. Okay, so he was literally
Bad
just
deal.
unknowingly drafted into this job. They were just like, this is what you do now. And like, I get it when your name has origins and they mean dead/rotten or claw, depending on if you ask the Bulgarians or the Germans. You're
How is that
not
your
giving
fault?
these devil-fearing Christians much to work with, but exactly, it's not
Right.
your fault. So what did Christian do? They decided that children needed to be punished and scared into doing good. And who did they put on the job?
Priest.
Krampus.
Oh,
Priest too.
I knew you were going with Krampus there.
Christianity even went as far to change how he looked. So they integrated the demon/goat form that we know and love today. He put in longer horns, they put in a long pointy tongue, and even some sharp fangs rather than just kind of like this goat deity going
wait,
around.
did
They're
he
like,
just have
let's
like
really fuck
normal
him up.
teeth, or did he have?
He was
goat
just
teeth?
like a normal goat teeth, okay? Before that. Anyways, so basically Santa had better PR at the time and like became the good guy to the evil.
Right.
But as all of us who have ever had a job knows, the shit rolls downhill. And these orders to harm children are coming from above Krampus's pay grade, okay? So how do we thank Krampus for all of his work that he's done and everything that he's been put up to? We give him some B-rated movies and a bag of coal to lug around and give out to children. And it's not even the good, expensive Titanic coal. It's just like your basic shit that you get down at the Home Hardware, okay?
For camping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in
If
the
I was
off
going to get
season,
coal, it better be Titanic coal.
right? Exactly. And in the off season, Krampus still doesn't get to get a break. He gets to go back to his cave in the woods while Santa heads up to his cozy house in the North Pole and gets waited on
whole
hand and
year
foot by some
off.
elves and some Mrs. Claus, and gets a whole year off.
His
Well,
cave
Krampus
in the
has
woods.
got to keep going and keeping his eye on these kids 24/7 while Santa just takes the list and then he checks it twice. And then he goes on his magic sleigh one night and eats his weight in milk and cookies.
It sounds like Santa's
Meanwhile-
like cool uncle who shows up once a year, and then Krampus is
But
like
they
the
just
parent
shat all
who
over
deals with it.
Krampus. They
every
just
day.
decided that Krampus was the parent. So instead, he has to bring out his stick and carry naughty children on his back in this weird wicker basket. And probably doesn't have proper padding like backpacks do today.
Wow.
So he went from being this wonderful free spirit to literally shackled by Christianity. Because
my
yes,
God.
ladies and gentlemen, he was not seen with shackles until Christianity entered the scene.
Does
I
he
think
actually
I
have
must
shackles?
have been.
Yes, he has shackles.
I must have been a really good kid because I just don't know anything about Krampus.
Well, Krampus is the real hero of Christmas, and if it wasn't for him, kids would be out of fucking control. But where is his song?
Oh wow.
Where is his Coca-Cola ad? Where is Krampus' theme advent calendar filled with pine and dirt? I'll tell you, it is nowhere. But
Boy, oh
the
boy.
parades, you say.
Do
the
I want an
parades.
advent calendar with pine and dirt? It's all I've ever wanted.
Well, your
The
reference to
parades-
Coca-Cola, that you must know that Coca-Cola is the reason
Created
Santa
modern-day
is-
Santa.
Created Santa? Yes.
Mhm.
So
I cover
parades
that
for
too.
Krampus, yes, there are those, but it's just a bunch of drunk people who go to the streets and watch a bunch of fake Krampuses while they walk around in chains, just flaunting how we've taken their freedom from them. That's an injustice to the poor spirit. So this year, let's stop giving Krampus the shitty end of the candy cane stick and throwing him under the Santa's sleigh. Instead, let's cheers to Krampus and maybe leave out some handcuff keys for the guy.
Unless he
Cheers to
wants it.
Krampus.
Unless he wants
Unless,
it.
Cheers
yeah, that's
to
in his own
Krampus.
time. Go for it.
And that is the end of my rant.
Well, thank you, Chantel. I saw that horror movie that came out about Krampus.
I still haven't
One
seen
of the
it.
6
a little while
B-rated
ago.
ones? Yes.
Right. I didn't even see it. I just looked kind of bad. I was like, maybe I'll get to it. But I didn't know anything about Krampus. So
Well,
I
Krampus was
feel
pretty
bad
fucking
now.
awesome until Christianity was like, we need something
I know, I'm
better.
gonna have to
That's
get a
not
little
your
Krampus
fairy
and
gods.
It sounds like
show my kids.
the leaders of Christianity at that time were like, damn, kids don't really give a shit about going to hell. So how can we make it worse
Well,
for them
that's exactly
so that
what
they'll
it was.
listen?
They were like, we need to get these kids in order, so we're going to take this deity because
Corporal
for some reason they couldn't
punishment.
stamp it out as they were going across Europe. And then they were just like, we're going to make you be the punisher. You are the enforcer to Santa's, I'll give you gifts and presents.
See, I always thought that Santa gave the coal as well.
Well, I mean, that is kind of what
I
they
thought
teach, but
so,
you got to
too.
go. I mean, we're talking about like Germany and
Yeah,
Slovenia
I don't
and
think that
places
Krampus
like
has,
we barely heard about it over here.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Right.
gotten as into the like North American, Hollywood.
Although there is that big party that happens every year in Toronto. It's a Krampus ball.
So I'm only hearing about
Okay.
Krampus a lot this year.
But
Didn't
that's probably
like
because I've been like filling
an
your feed with it by
episode
sending you
of
stuff.
Oh, my
Bob's
algorithm, it's your
Burgers
fault.
have like a Krampus ball episode? Wasn't it
Ooh.
like a
Oh, see, I need to watch that.
'Cause I don't
Linda-
remember that.
American Dad has a Krampus episode.
yeah, like Linda like half her tree is stolen or something, and then they go hunt down and they
Mm,
find this big
mhm.
party that looks like
I
looks
remember
like a
that one.
Krampus.
So
God, I
for
love Bob's
fun,
Burgers.
I watched like 4 or 5 Bob's Burgers Halloween episodes because, as you know, they're kind of like standalone. Like you don't really have to watch the whole show, and I
Right.
do want to watch the whole show. And damn, man, I love it. I love it so much. And Damien's like, cartoon. I'm like, you like American Dad, and it's obviously
Every-
not for kids. so-
Right.
Every time that I watch it, I just always think about how Lindsay and I used to get up for the beginning and dance in the living room.
It's a great song.
Do the Bob's Burgers intro.
Yeah. I know. We need to watch it
Good
again
old times.
together.
While eating nachos
God, I miss
know.
nachos.
I miss
and
living with
refusing
you.
to put on pants in the house. We were
Don't
no
you need to
problem.
I
buy
love
a
my
fan?
family, but I do miss
Refusing to buy
living
a
with
fan?
you.
Yes, yes. I get
Apartment
it.
was
I get it.
always so
Both
frickin'
things
hot.
can be true.
Exactly. One day.
And yes, our apartment was really hot. We could stand it. Nobody else could.
I know. I
your
loved how
door-
cozy it was.
Your door expanded and you couldn't close it unless you kicked it in.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, now I'm stuck in here, and I had to use 2 hands to pull myself out.
Everyone who
happened at my
stayed with
Park Credit
us,
place too.
everyone who stayed with us was like, it's too hot here and there's too much cat hair. And we're like,
Mhm.
I didn't notice those things.
Yeah,
And
I
there
didn't
was
notice
so
either
And
many
of
there's
those
those.
things.
people fighting on the street and broken bottles, and I was like, this is
Oh,
the
remember
worst
the guy with
sleep.
the samurai sword that one night?
Yeah, that was like the week I moved in. You're like, yeah, someone just
Mhm.
got killed with a samurai sword. I'm like, wow, so
Yeah.
glad to be
Like,
here.
this almost never happens.
Almost never.
So don't worry.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was only 3 weeks ago that the shooting happened down the street. We're fine.
And
Oh, and
Right.
also there's a serial killer on the loose around us too.
Yeah,
by
but you
the
guys
way.
aren't gay men, so
No,
you were
so we
gonna
were
be
fine.
Right, right.
That's Bruce McArthur for those that aren't in the know.
Yes, in the know. Lindsay moved
Which
in
we could-
with me just around that time that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily, I mean,
and we
that was
lived
really
three
scary
blocks
for-
over from the main area.
Yeah. Although he was not targeting us, but
No,
it
no,
was
no.
very
By no
scary
means.
to have that going on. And yeah.
Oh,
Anyways, he was a
Krampus.
mall Santa. Full
Oh,
circle.
Full circle. That's the 7
Right.
steps
Oh my
to Kevin Bacon
gosh.
right
That-
there. Or 6,
it's
however
6.
many there are. Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
How much rum's in your drink? Just curious.
It's vodka.
Of
And
course.
enough.
Chantel drinks vodka now.
I know.
I do. My boyfriend, my Russian boyfriend and his Russian family have corrupted me into drinking.
She's
vodka.
like, oh, give me those pickles and my vodka shot. I'm
But
like,
that's
honestly,
what,
it
it's
sounds
really,
really great.
Chantel, it's full circle because when we were like teenagers and we'd go out, we would
Mhm.
just buy flavored vodka, be like, just let's chug some before a party.
You
And then we
mean
would
when
just
we were
coast.
legally drinking, children?
Yes, 19, which in Canada
19.
is legal drinking
Yes.
age.
Yes.
So
19.
we start a little earlier in Canada. We like to get this party started a
yes.
little earlier.
Lindsay
than
and
in
I were
America.
like, what's mix? We don't need mix.
Well, we can't afford that. Come on.
no.
Juice.
We're just going to split a
Juice
vanilla
pop.
vodka.
We just bought a $13 bottle of vodka. We can't also buy
Oh.
$2 a pop.
If you got, I'm sure
No.
you guys have done this, but vanilla vodka in root beer, like it's sweet, but it is
Mm.
like a dessert.
I haven't done that
Yeah.
because I haven't drank
No.
vanilla
Ru-
vodka
I,
since
vanilla
I was,
vodka
since
is
you were
off
a
the
child.
menu
Yeah,
now.
yeah, that is a no go.
Can't drink like when I was
I'm-
13.
But now the thought of like just chugging liquor before a party to have fun just does not register. Like I want a nice cocktail to sip gently while at the party.
Mhm.
But that was like
So-
every
I would rather
single
just get high.
weekend.
I would honestly just rather get high.
Right. Yeah.
Then I'm just there. I'm just chilling. Every once in a while, I might
I,
have
know.
something
I don't
funny
even
to say.
drink much except for when I'm virtually
this.
drinking with you guys.
I was
Oh,
telling
guys,
Damien
I
not
forgot
too
to
long
show you my
ago, but
sweater.
the best high that I've had, and I was a child. Are you going to zip your face in
I
the face
love
of
the
something?
Christmas sweater. Now my work wants to have a Chris Ugly sweater party, so I have to find a Christmas sweater or
So-
make one of my sweaters ugly.
I'll send you
I-
this one.
I don't
Thank
normally
you.
have like sleep paralysis, but I know that I will tonight now from seeing you in this.
Anybody who's
Oh.
not watching the video, you got to go look at
Lindsay,
my
how do we
Right.
take
sweet-ass
screenshots
sweater.
on this thing?
Oh yeah, I'll take one right now. 1 second. I mean, I've already seen this so many times; it does not scare me personally. Now she can breathe again.
Jesus
I,
Christ.
I actually like this sweater.
I love this sweater.
I like
So
that
easy to
it's a
see
zip
out
up.
of. And honestly,
don't-
the breathing's not that bad either. It's
Well,
like a
it's-
light
I-
choke,
stand
you know? Just a light choke.
To keep this train a rolling,
To keep this Polar Express espressing.
Okay, can we talk about how that's the worst Christmas movie? That is a child's fever dream nightmare. Are you kidding me?
I just like how everyone's eyes are dead.
Oh, well, we have the book, which
All
Grayson
aboard.
was so obsessed with trains. He was really excited about it. But it was
Oh,
like
I could
I
see
had
it.
to always read between the lines. Like he's gonna fall asleep before I get to the end of this
I
book.
used to love
Yeah.
lying to kids
Okay.
by like skipping and on this page. And then the puppy ran away and they didn't find him. That's the end.
Oh yeah. I like books too that have like
Meghan.
certain words highlighted and I just read those words. I'm like,
You mean
bam.
like what we were
Wow.
talking about on
How?
episode 40? When you tried to episode. You tried to episode. You tried to episode.
But
When
Lindsay
you tried to
couldn't
highlight
episode.
one word.
She couldn't episode
Yeah.
though.
That's why I was going for that method because that's how I
You
read
were
between
like,
the lines on
children's
kids'
books, it works.
But to
When-
be fair, you guys derailed things while I was
That
trying to talk because you were
whole
so
I don't
drunk.
know. I don't know what you're talking about.
We were not drunk.
So-
We were drunk on rock and roll, okay?
Right. You were drunk on the
otherwise-
song.
I was a
Well,
little
let
bit
me-
high. That was
Let
it.
me get into my segment because we're going to get
Okay.
to talk a lot during mine because I want it to be a
Perfect.
discussion. And I'm going to be talking about Christmas traditions. And one I want to actually address first because it kind of plays into your Krampus spiel,
Mhm.
Chantal. Elf on the Shelf. I have a rant
my
about this
God.
one because
Kill me.
for one, I never did Elf on the Shelf. I guess it was a book that came out in 2005. So we would have been,
I thought it was new,
What?
but you're right. I think that Lily had it
Yeah.
around when she
That
was
we
little.
were
we would have been like
36.
17 or something when this
Wait,
came out. So
yes.
we were,
I wasn't worried
Wait,
about Elf on the Shelf.
I said,
right.
guys, I just said in 2005 we'd be 36.
I
That's
wish.
today, lady.
I forgot to minus the 20 then.
Just like casual.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Chantel, for aging us 20 years. So, Elf on the Shelf
look
was
great.
a book. I never read it, but apparently this is the premise is that you each day you have this little elf and it goes around and it's like basically watching your kids and it does like it's put into like weird positions like I don't know.
It's like Santa's spies,
So
aren't they?
Right.
I actually
Yeah.
used to do this for Lily. So if you want me to give you an example, I can. Because Lindsay, you know about it, but I actually did it.
Okay, well then please share your
So-
best example.
So Lindsay's totally right. It comes
Your
with a
best.
book. And it's kind of giving you, the whole story about, so you get a little elf and it has its very own name, like it's unique to your child. And Santa essentially sent like a spy. It's giving like Handmaid's Tale, like the eye.
Mhm.
So they're watching the kid 24/7, making sure that they're doing their homework, brushing their teeth, and all that normal kids never want to do and stuff. And the thing that makes parents go nuts is that every single night the kid goes to bed and you're supposed to take the elf and put it somewhere else, somewhere different, and they're to show that it's alive. So like one night,
thank you.
so one night we had the elf like tucked on a bookshelf and a little note that said, you've been doing a good job reading, Santa's happy. Or another time, she had like ice cubes everywhere and it was like I tried to make an igloo but I couldn't do it. Like just stupid. I don't know. I can't think of an example.
Right.
that's-
Those are some of the ones I've seen on
but every
Facebook.
single night the elf is moving and the elf is doing stuff. And so parents
So
are
you
like,
gave yourself a job for 25 days straight, is what you're saying.
because instead of
Yeah.
parenting, you want to use a toy to make your kid behave.
God.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, no disrespect, because I know the parents will do whatever they can just to frickin' make it through.
I
But
asked my
it-
brother. He was like, "No, I'm definitely not doing that."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
"Good."
no, I
good
never did that
choice.
with my kids. It never even
And you know
crossed
what?
my
I respect
mind
you
to do
more from it.
Like, do
Um,
what you got to do.
Meghan,
But
you
I
were
think
essentially so you've been behind Elf on the Shelf.
it's okay. Sound it out.
So Elif.
Wow. Well, the elf heard
Oh,
you say
no.
that. You being mean to me.
Sheelif.
So
This
not getting
this was the
anything.
elf, so not a problem anymore.
anyway, I just think it's weird.
The
Personally,
last year that you ever do it, do you think that on the 24th you just do two little skeletons, like in the oven, and be like, they
some people
died?
would do that. I've seen like Santa ate the elf. It was just like bones on a plate with the little elf's hat.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's
I
when you
think
tell them
it's-
the Santa's not real, right? That's the
Like
day
I
you
like
break it to
I
them.
like
You
the
traumatize them
darkness,
double.
but
I know. I also
Yeah.
like the darkness. See
Right.
now I imagine like the elves like strung up upside down like over like a tea light, like they're being burned alive. Sorry,
yeah,
that's-
exactly.
yeah.
Anyway,
That's
it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Krampus story
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
it's meant to scare children into behaving. So-
After Saint Nick came
Right.
around.
when I was a kid, obviously Christmas looks a little different now than it did then, but it was always so magical. I remember like losing my mind over waiting for Christmas. I always had an
Aw.
advent calendar. I don't know if
Mhm.
you guys, I know Chantel's, we'll talk about you after because you celebrate Christmas a little bit later than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I always had an advent calendar and that was my little countdown. And I remember being so excited. So on Christmas Eve, we would go to church usually, but I would come home, get in my pajamas. I would watch the cartoon version of The Grinch.
Oh, like the
I don't know if
classic
I love
one, like the
that classic one.
1960s one? Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Love that one. I
Can I
watched
tell
that. I
you
usually
that
watched.
I actually hate The Grinch so much. Sorry.
Okay, well, we have to disagree on
I
that
know.
one because that's one of
Yeah.
my favorite movies.
It's so good. And then when like The Grinch was like a baby, like especially in was it
The Jim
live
Carrey one?
action? I
The
felt
Jim
so
Carrey,
bad
yeah.
for him. I'm like,
I
just really
know.
empathize
He's
with
so
the Grinch.
cute.
I know. Megan.
Hate it. Sorry.
He
I
Do
have
you not
a
like
lot.
Jim Carrey? Is that why?
no. I
Because I know
love Jim
some people
Carrey.
hate it. Oh, okay.
I love Jim
Yeah.
Carrey.
But what about
And
you don't like the cartoon Grinch either?
so it's one of those things where I guess I felt a certain kind of way about it for so long that now I'm like,
Yeah.
do I actually hate it or have I just not watched it a long time and feel this way? Because I can say two things and I feel the same way, knowing that now
Mhm.
as an adult I'll try again. But I hate the Grinch. Both. I hate their faces so much, and I also hate the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
I've never seen the Charlie Brown
I
Christmas.
hate Charlie
I've
Brown.
seen the Charlie Brown
I
Christmas.
love
It wasn't
the
one that
music,
was like,
but I
you
hate.
know, I need in my life. I always watch Nightmare Before Christmas on Christmas Eve because to me that is a Christmas movie.
You know
Duh.
what?
Yes.
That movie you can start watching in October, and you don't stop until, whenever you want.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It connects.
I usually watch the Christmas Carol too, like the old one, because that would always come on Christmas Eve, and I stayed up as late as possible. Like I was one of those kids. I was so excited. Like I used to try to find my presents before Christmas. Like
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about that. You
right, like
you found out
I
your
was like
parents.
I was like a mission for me. Like I was like solving a
Yeah.
mystery. I'm like, where did they hide them?
So Lindsay's
I thought I
always
would
been like
find
this, if
them,
you were
and I
wondering.
was like, I would purposely not look at everything, even though I knew I found the stash because I just wanted to find the stash.
Oh, you just wanted to know where they were, not what they were.
I once I found one, I was like, well, I don't want to find everything. I want to have some surprises too. But I definitely wanted to like outsmart my parents, I think, and find
That's fair.
where they were
That's
hiding
fair.
them.
If we talk about Christmas trauma, let me know because I have some.
We can get into
Oh,
that
God.
too.
We'll save it for a little bit later.
Other
Let's
things that
get
my
real drunk and
parents
depressed.
do, my parents did that I do today is they always had a new ornament every year for the year. So that's
Oh,
something
that's
that
nice.
I
My mom
continued.
started that with us. Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, which I actually have a few photos. Actually, I forgot to put one of them up. The first one is my Christmas tree, so people can take a look.
It is such a cute. Oh my God, you guys have so many presents under the street.
Oh,
Under
that's not
this
even all of
tree
them.
versus like how little the tree is.
Well, that was
Like
one thing.
skinny,
So
not little, skinny.
my parents always waited until Christmas to put out the presents, but we don't have a lot of space because we live in an apartment, so the presents are already under the tree. And my parents were like, "How do your kids see that and not go crazy?" I'm like, "They're much more patient than I was as a child. Like I would have lost my mind seeing presents."
This kind of tree. Also, I love that Batman's the topper. He's watching over
Yes,
everybody.
well,
Perfect.
actually,
Is that
I
Chantel?
was going to mention that actually because yeah, it's of a star or an angel Batman watches over Christmas.
I
for
have a
us.
zombie angel on my tree.
Love
Mm.
it.
No one's surprised.
Okay, so go to my next photo.
Mm-hmm.
This
That's so
is
cute.
a little mouse in a nutshell. I actually made this
Is it a walnut
for
shell?
Christmas. Yeah, for Christmas '97. So
Oh
it is
my
vintage.
God.
What?
And it was my favorite
Wow.
ornament as a kid. I made it in school, and I
So
just thought he was
cute.
so cute.
That is so
So-
cute. I love
I've made
it.
ornaments in school, but like nothing like this.
Not like this.
Do you
Well, this
remember the
was-
plastic sheeting?
Well, I wasn't allowed,
where you
but
would
yeah.
like cross stitch on the plastic sheeting with yarn. It was like
I
a
wasn't-
plastic sheet with
oh.
holes. I used to make
Okay.
like
Oh.
little
Cross stitch?
sleds. Yeah, but that's not even the
Yeah.
right word. But it was a plastic
No, it's
sheet.
not. It's not cross stitch, but it's kind of like cross stitch.
Well-
Cross stitch is on
Like
fabric.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
but
a plastic
it's
sheet.
essentially the same pattern
And then I
of
would
cross stitch.
I would make it into a little toboggan, and then I would glue like little snowmen on them, and they were like
Oh,
tobogganing.
cute.
And where
Oh,
they are,
that's
I have no
really
idea.
cute.
But like this is like an actual ornament, so mine would look
Yeah.
terrible compared to
Well,
this.
actually, it's funny you mentioned, Chantel, you wouldn't be allowed to do this. You actually wouldn't have been because this is for part of we had religion classes when I was
Mhm.
in grade 3, which I
Oh,
feel like today
God.
they wouldn't really do that.
No, they wouldn't.
But we have religion classes, and that's where I made this because I had the sweetest old lady. Um, and also, like, putting it out there too, the church I even went to was very
Progressive.
chill and progressive. Yeah, they were very open. If you were gay, like, they're like, "Please come." Like, they actually had a lot of, they welcomed families from other countries that came here and tried to, like, let's support them and,
See,
like, give
that's the
them.
kind of Christianity that I like.
Right. It
Mhm.
was I think if you're gonna go to a church, the church my parents took us to was a pretty good one.
Drop
It's
those
funny, I was
deets.
just talking to, Vadim recently about something I remembered vividly from school. I gave this presentation once. We had to give presentations. They were teaching us how to do it without relying on our cue cards. So, like, yes, you can have cue
Mhm.
cards, but you have to look at the people. And, like, I remember I
Right.
studied that thing and I memorized it. But what I didn't really remember about it was that it was supposed to be for Christmas, but I'm I'm gonna wait until we get into this later. Obviously, I wasn't allowed to
Yeah.
celebrate Christmas, or I wasn't celebrating Christmas at that time. So the only way I was allowed to participate in that project, because what you're supposed to do is talk about Christmas and make a special ornament for the class Christmas tree to put on the tree.
Aw.
So I wasn't allowed to do that, but I did my presentation on Denmark, and my ornament was a Danish flag. But I just did, like, rather than about Christmas in Denmark, I just did, like, here's things about Denmark, like, the Copenhagen's the
Yeah.
capital, and just, like, little things like that, like, not touching on the
Danish.
Christmas aspect. But that
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we were literally just talking about that. And I was like,
Oh,
wow,
wow.
that's a memory I came out of the woodworks there.
That was locked
Like,
away.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I remember your cousin was in my class when we were younger. I remember he, like, couldn't stand for the national anthem.
Oh, yeah. Well, when we
And
first started going to school, especially in Nova Scotia, they still did the prayer in primary, and we had to leave the room for the prayer
What school
Oh,
did
and
you go to?
for Oxford School downtown. So
Oh,
we had
then
to
why
leave the
did
school
we go
for
to
okay.
school?
prayer, a class for prayer, and for because when they used to do the prayer, we weren't even allowed to be in the room. We had to leave the room.
Okay. Because all I remember
And
was just
then
we just did the anthem and your cousin just had to sit
yes,
down.
and in the anthem, we were allowed to just sit down because they also, at that point, the religion was like, well, maybe we shouldn't, like, it's not easy on kids to make them, like, so noticeably different that they have to leave the room. So they
Right.
stopped telling us that
Do
we
you
had to
want to
do
tell
that. We
our
were allowed to just
listeners
sit.
the religion you were in?
Oh, I think I've mentioned it before. I was a Jehovah's Witness when I grew up. So
Right.
anybody that's like, this is your first episode, I was a Jehovah's Witness, and it was strict. It was the
Yeah.
cult, okay?
We've
Like,
liberated Chantel
Just
since
we
a
were
then.
white
basically
She's
light cult.
I was on, like, a Reddit thing recently, and I forgot that this is basically what it is, but it's basically an apocalyptic cult. There are a lot of apocalyptic cults, and they are a version of
Doomsday
that. And I
prepper.
was like, oh my God. Not so much in that, because they're like,
yeah.
God will take care of us. We don't need to prepare for anything but our faith. But yeah, they're an apocalyptic cult, and I was like, oh damn. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
ornaments in school.
Okay,
Yours is super
ornaments. Back to
cute.
ornaments. So
This
yes, my
is really
super cute.
cute.
This is like my favorite ornament the most.
I can understand
Then we
why.
have next we have our little Jack Skellington, which I got for
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. I think last year or last year because the year before would have been baby's first Christmas ornament.
Cute.
And then this is one for this year. I got it because it just kind of looked like my kids and they like to
Oh, a little
do things
snowman.
together.
Oh, and is
Yeah.
that a black kitty I see?
It's a little black kitty. Yeah.
It's
So
Samus.
Samus
Is
is
that a
part of it.
Samus?
Yes.
Aw.
Samus would love to hang out with them, I'm sure. Let's go to my next ornament. This is special. It was
This
given
is
to me
really
by
cute.
someone special. Do you remember who that
I
was?
gave you this one.
Yes.
It's really cute.
Chantel gave me this ornament.
That was our first Christmas
actually our
together.
first Christmas together. Yeah. And
Yeah.
your mom came and stuff. Was
Because
it? Or
that's what
was it
we
the
did.
one?
We gave ornaments to one another, and I was like, "Oh, I
Right.
need to get Lindsay
It's
her first
funny,
Christmas
the
gift."
middle
And then
part.
like she is just so smart, and like, I just was like, "You like robots. You need a robot."
The
I don't
middle
even know where
part
that
kind
came
of looks
from,
like
but
a
like someone
steering
else
wheel
gave
on
me a
the
robot
ship.
too. I'm like, I don't know. I guess
Mm-hmm.
I love it though, and it always goes on my tree every year.
Yay. I totally forgot about that.
And obviously then Batman, which we know. So
Mm-hmm.
those are my ornaments.
Batman
So
is her
yeah,
angel.
a new
That's
ornament
cute.
every year. That's kind of our tradition that I still do today. Now, of
Mm-hmm.
course, Christmas a little bit, I'm incorporating my husband Eric's traditions with my traditions. So his family always does like all the presents on Christmas Eve, whereas my family was like one present on Christmas Eve, and then in the morning you get the rest. So
Mm-hmm.
we try to do a little bit of both. And Christmas Day is always like at home, watching movies. Like Jingle All the Way is our big one that Eric and I watch together.
I love that one.
So good.
It was the one Christmas movie we were allowed to watch as children, because my dad loved Arnold Schwarzenegger, so like he would bend the rules to watch that Christmas movie.
He's like, I like this one. It is a good one to watch. So that's always the first movie we put on today. So
Mhm.
Who was the dad again? I can see him in my mind's eye. Like
Arnold
the
Schwarzenegger.
no, like the
Oh.
stepdad, or the
Oh,
neighbor.
Right. I forget his name.
It's not Tom Arnold, is
Hang
it?
on, I'll look it. Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman. Oh my God,
Okay.
Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He
that's
was
so
in
sad.
wasn't he in Seinfeld? A bunch too.
He was a writer and actor on Seinfeld. Or Seinfeld,
Yeah.
The Simpsons, I mean.
Oh yeah, right.
Fuck, that's so heartbreaking.
Ugh.
Damn, he's such a good asshole in that movie. Like,
I know.
But don't they like? Are they on good terms afterwards?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think that they get into like a massive fight. I need to watch it again. It's been a long
Um,
time.
Yes,
they have
he
to
was
go
on the
fight on the
package.
But he's trying to like steal his wife and stuff.
Yeah,
essentially.
he's
and then
like-
and then she's like,
Oh.
yeah, you're an asshole.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
they were divorced. Why am I remembering them as being divorced?
Because
No, like
maybe
they were
Santa
they were
Claus,
kind of
they're
just
divorced.
she was annoyed with Arnold's
Arnold's always
character
working
because
so
he's
hard.
always working so much and like
Yeah.
and he's just
Isn't
trying
that
to get
always
his
the
son
way?
the toy for Christmas. Also, like I can't imagine back in the 90s when your parents had to actually like hunt down the toy you wanted. Like right now I can just
I
be like, Grace, what do you want
know.
for Christmas? Bing, bing, bing. Ordered.
When I
I
see
think
like
that-
old videos of what Boxing Day used to be like, remember when they'd be like Futurama? Future Store. We have this one TV and there are 5 of them that you can get at this price, and they would have a limit on how many they sold at each price. And that's why it would be like an absolute like roar of people going in there because they wanted to be the ones to get it.
I think
So-
Boxing Day was the first like Black Friday vibe.
I remember
is-
going out with like Gerard and those guys and
To the
like
mall?
Chris Baltzer and stuff. No, not even. It was the night before Boxing Day sales, and they were like getting in line at these tech stores.
Well, because you
And I
guys
was
were next
like,
to
"What are
Bears
you
Lake.
doing?" Yeah,
Mm.
I was like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "Well, it's the sale." And like, so they were in line at like 11
wow.
p.m. the
And
night
these are
before.
children. These are in
Oh
high
my
school.
gosh.
Yeah, we were in high
Right.
school.
What are you buying? Like what money?
Oh,
The only
well,
time I've
I
ever
mean-
lined up to purchase anything was back when I was like 13 or 12 for the Harry Potter book or something.
I will
Nerd.
always remember us lining up for Rolling Stones
know.
tickets.
Oh,
The camping
right,
out
we
for
did
those.
actually. We went overnight. I forgot.
Yeah, we
my
camped out for
God.
Rolling Stones tickets.
That's right. You,
Um,
me, Mitch, and Mike.
Mike, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I was
That
like,
was a
I can't
really
believe my
fun,
parents
like,
let me use their
concert,
car
too.
for the weekend.
I know. I
was
was
like,
like,
that's
of
our only
all
car?
parents,
Out of all
We were
parents,
like,
mine.
Lindsay,
least
you're our
likely.
only hope. And your
least-
parents were like, yes. We were like,
Yeah,
what?
I guess because my parents' car was sold at that point, my dad was probably like, "Well, this will be an excuse to get a new car if it
Yeah,
breaks
and then
down
we-
somewhere."
Please crash it. Please
I
crash
think we
it.
like visited my cousins on the way back or something. Like cousins that I barely knew. My mom was like, you should visit
Oh.
them. And I was like, okay. And so we all like went to their
What's
house.
up with parents doing that? I remember going on a road trip to Boston with like a boyfriend at the time. My parents like, you need to stop and visit all your grandparents' friends on the way. I'm like, do I? How
wait.
to-
Your
Are you sure?
grandparents' friends?
My grandparents' friends, yeah, and we
'Cause
actually
you're
did
so
stop
close.
at one, and they had this gorgeous house, like they're probably loaded, and they gave us a nice, I don't know, lunch and stuff. I'm like, it was fine actually, and they were very friendly, but yeah, it was weird. I was like, fine, I'll do this for you. But
all
Yeah,
my
why not?
grandparents' friends were dead.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I mean, they were
Ugh.
cool. I remember they were like, yeah, it's fine. Then here's my, cousin's daughter
they're
and
like-
her 3 friends
I
coming
don't even know.
from a
I don't remember
concert.
to this day who I visited, but I'd have to ask my parents.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they were
They
on their
probably met me when I was a
deathbed?
baby. They're like,
But
oh,
but imagine
you
that
know.
they were like in their last years and it's like, remember that time that Lindsay came with all of her friends? How great that was, and we made them sandwiches. Oh, Herb, I'm
Yeah, it'd be
never
like
gonna
my
forget.
child stopping at your place and like 50 years from now.
Oh, I would love that.
See, that's
So-
that's
I
different.
would love that. You're
That
right.
is different.
yeah,
Right.
from their perspective, it's probably cool.
You're right. So yeah, they probably did feel the same way of like, that's so nice.
Okay, well, when
Anyways.
you use
Right.
logic like that, I kind of
I
see
forgot for a second that we're on a podcast and not just a
Right. What?
Okay, well, I'll wrap up my Christmas traditions. I'll kind of streamline it a little bit. So another thing I do, which I don't think I put the picture up, but I've made personalized stockings for me and every member of my, current family,
I
who is
love that.
family I live now with
I'm
now.
like, there's
That's
no
my-
more kids,
well,
right?
no,
Lindsay?
I just
What do you
mean
mean
like
current?
when I lived with my parents, like my immediate
Got
family.
you.
My,
Your
my
your
mom
new
made us
your
stockings.
new
Okay.
family.
My
Just that-
family with
the way
my
you
children.
phrase that ever
No,
so
I
like,
have two
Like you're
children.
drinking, right?
I
That's
have not
alcohol, right?
ruled. I have not ruled out a third. Anyway,
I'm-
so what I do is I made a special stocking for each of us, and so Eric's has like Thor and Hulk.
that's
Mm.
cool.
I think Grayson's is Harry Potter.
And-
mine was Star Wars.
How come
and
it's no
Maeve's
Spider-Man?
was-
What?
I love
Well,
it.
I made it for when he was a baby, so
Oh,
I
got
just
you.
picked a
Okay.
cool red fabric.
You
That's why mine
decided what he was going to be into.
Star Wars.
he
I'm
was
not
like,
even
"No."
like insane Star Wars fan, just average. But
I think you're pretty up there. I think you're up there.
I
for
think
sure.
I knew a lot, but I never watch it anymore. But
Time for a new stocking.
I know I actually wish my stocking was because that is the Nightmare Before Christmas.
How was she
stocking.
gonna know, Lindsay?
amazing.
I'm
All
just gonna
Star
take
Wars.
her
Just
name
switch
off,
it.
switch them. So anyway, I made those for us, and those are special too.
I love
So,
that with your little sewing
um,
machine.
Yeah, I have my sewing
Lindsay
machine.
can sew, everyone. She's talented in
Yeah.
multiple ways. She has
Thank you.
made our Halloween costumes at
Right,
least 2
I am a
years in a
good
row.
like average sewer. Like I can make a Halloween costume. Like if you want it to be something
That's
you wear
better than
every
most
single
people.
day.
You don't need
Like-
to downplay it. That's better than most people.
Yeah,
You're great.
but that's better than like 99% of people. I mean, I
Yeah.
can sew with a thread and needle, and I have sewn with a sewing machine, but to have a sewing machine and just do these little projects is like so many people cannot do that. So
Especially
Well,
without
thank
a
you.
pattern.
Exciting.
She's like, "Hey, we're gonna be this, so I'll figure it out." And we're like, "Okay, great.
yeah, like you told me
Give me
to
your
bring
measurements."
you told me to bring a dress that I liked and that fit well, and you're just like, let me just trace this real quick, okay, and I'll just do
Yeah.
the rest. I'm like, okay, I guess that's it.
Well,
right?
if we ever want another Halloween
See
costume,
you on
I will
Halloween.
sew those for us. So
Sounds good.
we do, and my only request is that we're related, but it's different, and I like the spin where it's scary but it's cute. So like we have a lot of time, but
We have a
time.
lot of time.
like
I
we're
need a
either
lot. I will need at least. I know I made our costumes in like a day, but that was before I had children.
Yeah.
So
And
I'll
that was
need
with the cat sitting on the pattern multiple times.
yeah, that was like basically having a child. So
Yeah. same difference. That's what I've always said.
So I also obviously baking's a big part of it. So
Mhm.
every year Grace and I make our little gingerbread people and our sugar cookies. Something that I used to do with my mom. So now I'm doing with Grayson. And
That's
then
so cute.
eventually, maybe Maeve will join in. And finally, for my Christmas traditions, it's going into the mugs that I have. So as people know, if this is your first episode, I live in Chicago now.
What?
And there's the Chris Kindle Market here. And every year they have signature like little mugs. So this is the first one, like the heart-shaped one that you
That's so
saw me drink out of.
That.
Chris Kindle Market. This was from 2018. So
Oh wow.
it wasn't my first Christmas here. It was 2017, but this is the
That's
first
also
time I
vintage.
went. Vintage.
Got you.
Yeah, 2018. My second one here. Do I have it? Oh, where is it? I must be missing one along the way. This one is 20.
I
Oh,
texted-
no, I'm not. 2018. Oh, wait, 2019.
Is that a boot?
It's a boot.
Cute.
Chicago. Chris Kindle Market.
Chicago.
I actually didn't clean this one because it's kind of difficult to clean.
Yeah.
That
Just
makes
a
sense.
So that
A
one.
hot water and a rinse.
Then we have 2020 obviously didn't happen. 2021 didn't happen. For obvious reasons.
Were those even
And
years
then-
that actually existed?
I don't know, but this is 2022.
Oh,
It's like
everyone's
Chicago
together. It's
skyline.
cute.
That's kind of
Where-
what the market looks like.
Where's the bean?
Show me the bean.
Oh,
Is there a
where's
bean?
the bean?
No bean?
You know
It's
what?
still very
They
cute.
can't have the bean every year. It's fine. And then this one was from 2023 last year. So I conveniently made a drink in 2 of them just because I
That
wanted
one's
to be
really cute,
ready to
too.
go. So
That's fair.
yeah, this is
I miss Chicago. It's been so
2023.
long.
So these I'm actually supposed to go soon. It's just been really cold this week, so I want to go when it's a little less cold. So I'm hoping next week. My coworkers and I were thinking about going at lunchtime. So you can get mulled wine in these, or you can get a different one with hot chocolates. Obviously, I've had the mulled wine ones.
Oh,
'cause
see, I would do hot
I
chocolate,
love
but
mulled
spike it.
wine.
I hate mulled wine, too.
I
I
love mulled wine, but
miss
only at this Christmas market.
I
Like,
miss
I would
working
try
at the
it.
Christmas market here because we would get we weren't supposed to, but we would
Turkey
drink
legs
mulled
and mulled wine.
cider.
Oh, yeah.
Like it wasn't mulled wine, it was mulled cider,
Yeah.
and it was fucking delicious. And
Okay.
we would just drink it like all night long. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
It's just
it-
so,
I
like,
mean, you
warm
had
and
to
cozy
stay warm
and
sometime out there, so it was really
right.
nice.
I am gonna try their
Yeah.
hot chocolate if I go with my coworkers because if I have one drink and try to go back to work, that's just not happening. So
at least you know yourself.
I know myself.
Yeah, I
So anyway,
know
that
my
is
limits.
another little Christmas tradition that I have here in Chicago specifically. So
Those are all really cute. And I mean, I'm a mug collector and it's dangerous, but I'm glad that you have like little Christmas
and
keepsakes.
these are cute little mugs. So
Yes.
They
I-
are. I like
Megan and I were
them. I
talking
love
about
the heart
our-
one.
Yeah,
I
our
think it's
I
my
mug.
know that
favorite.
part one
mug
is my
collection.
favorite.
I've
nothing
never
has
seen a shape
topped
like
it.
that before.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually have it really high up behind everything because I don't want anyone to ever touch it.
Megan,
What?
you had some
didn't tell
Christmas
us your
drama.
Christmas traditions.
Christmas trauma. So just related to Lindsay finding presents. I remember being like, maybe it must have been in junior high school. It was whenever The Sims came out. When did that come out? 2000 or something, or 98?
Something like that.
I mean, yeah, somewhere.
And
You
I
would
remember
know. You're the Sims girl.
I
Yeah.
still am. But I
Yeah.
remember like looking for presents and finding them and then just feeling so guilty. And I mean, obviously at that
Mm.
point, you know, I was at the top end of the years anyway, but I'm like, I never want to feel this feeling again. But if there's children around, like stop right now, by the way.
We've already ruined Christmas for them. Are you kidding?
Hopefully
we-
moms and dads were like,
we
"Let's
talked about
not."
Santa, so we're fine.
Okay, so this is a warning. If you have children and Santa is still a huge part of your lives, that is so precious. Santa is totally real. And maybe pause now and listen to the rest later.
And don't listen to anything you've already listened to.
Yeah,
And
Megan wants to
erase
destroy
it.
dreams.
So I was super young. I'd have to actually do the math and figure how old I was exactly, but I was probably like, I don't know, 8 or something. And we were at one of my many houses in Sydney because I moved around like every year I moved.
Oh, I
And
thought
we
you
were
meant you
playing.
owned multiple.
No, no,
One of
we
my
were
many houses.
No, we were always renting and just always moving around. It was just like a
Mm.
lot.
Fair.
And you know those bouncy balls, like the bigger ones? I don't know if they make them anymore. And they had that great like ting sound when you bounce them, like they're bigger.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
sometimes they would smell like grape. They were like smelly,
Okay, I don't remember that.
but they were like dodgeball type balls.
Okay.
Okay. So my brother and I are playing with this ball and it's like bouncing literally all around the walls. So it somehow bounces down the stairs to the basement, hits the back wall, rolls under the stairs because they had no back. Because you have
It's
basement
like out of
stairs.
a movie already.
Yep.
There's a
And
gremlin.
no, and we go down to the very scary furnace section to find the ball, and we find a box with all of our Christmas presents. And we were like 8 and 6.
Also,
And
like
we're
by
like-
accident. You weren't even trying to.
The
Wasn't
ball-
even trying.
It's the ball's fault.
Yeah.
It's gravity's
That's fate.
fault.
That was fate,
Yeah.
It's not-
actually.
You were meant to find those.
It's not even
presents.
gravity. It's more like, I don't know, like physics. Like I'm not a math person or science person.
I'm not a mathematician.
Well, it went down the stairs. That's what
It went down, but then it hit the wall, smacked it, and then
Right.
it rolled under.
Yeah.
So a
Definitely. All
scientist,
right,
let me know
physics.
what that is.
Yeah.
Right.
Fate.
We can blame science. That is
Fate.
what we're saying.
Oh, I'm definitely blaming science. And then my brother and I both like promised, like, let's just not say anything. It's like so sad. I know. And then of course later I was like, where are those presents?
What did I get this year?
Aw.
But you know, in general, great Christmas. My mom still does this. She'll
Yeah.
have.
Do you know what
the-
though? I love that your reaction wasn't like, "Don't tell mom and dad because they'll know that we'll know where to work like
No,
next
she's
year."
like, we
it was
feel
like
sad.
we felt so bad that
I
we found these
know.
presents.
Now
Did you
I
guys like
feel
make
bad
the connection at the time?
because
Of like, hey, that means that Santa's not real. Like,
yeah, we knew, we could tell right away just by how like what it was. We're like, these are Christmas gifts. Like we just knew.
so when your parents told you that Santa wasn't real, does that mean that you were kind of like, yeah, like I I knew.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was so long ago. I can't remember if it was like, yeah, we found out X amount of years ago. It's kind of just like, yeah, we kind of figured, you know?
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we were like older. We were, 11, 10, or 11 or 12. And we're like, yeah, like, we
Hmm.
know, like, we're
I
older. I
I
remember
do
know.
wonder
figuring
how
out
difficult
because
it is now
uh,
with like social media, if there's like anything that's
well,
ruins things
I
for
I mean, I can comment on
or
that
the
for
internet.
today.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
with your age children.
yeah, well, also just for my own personal experience, I remember when I think I was like 6 or 7, I recognized Santa's handwriting as my dad's handwriting, and
I
I was
wasn't
like,
that smart.
Oh. But you were always
"Dad,
a
like."
detective.
I know, I was always a detective. So, like, I was onto them early, and that's why I never felt bad about I was more because I already knew early on that Santa wasn't
Okay.
real, but I had a little brother who's 4
Mm.
years younger than me, so we did Santa, and he found out probably, like, I don't know, a little bit later than I did because I was a super
Mhm.
sleuth,
Real?
but, um so I got quite a few extra years of Santa, so my parents kept giving me Santa presents too because I couldn't be like, "Well, you know,
I
Yeah, it can't
believe,
be
I
like you
spoil
spoiled
believe
and
them."
stop getting
the
them.
line is that, well, if you don't believe in Santa, then you don't get gifts. So you're like, oh, I better fucking shut up.
Yeah.
Anyways, Megan,
Yes.
are you taking away with a history today?
Yes.
Mhm.
So this one is a very, very brief history of how pagans are awesome and how Christianity just
Hear,
stole
hear.
everything that was cool. And they tried to fit it all together because they're like, well, we want everyone to come to our party. So if we just have the same things that you have, maybe you'll just come to ours, Like
Hashtag justice for Krampus.
there's no cover at our party. We have hot girls, cheap drinks, so, and it worked
We've
because here we
shackled
are.
a literal
But
monster
also it
into being
kinda
a
worked for
demon
Christianity
now.
because a lot of people go to that party too.
I was gonna say, no, it
Yeah.
totally works. So Christianity did it. They have the best club promoters, and here we are.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I did send you some photos.
Mhm.
This is a very like low stakes kind of thing, and it's not very long.
I'm loving this first photo already. This looks like a
Yeah, me
party I
too.
would be a part
Yeah,
of.
I wanna be there.
guys, I'm gonna get to it. Like the pagans fucking did it right, but we already knew that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you'll be learning about the origins of Christmas today.
Oh my god. I love it.
Mm.
You do deserve a drink after that.
Yes.
Okay,
We all
so
do.
let's get into this. There'll be a test at the end. Can you imagine if I did that? Okay, so many of
Yes.
the practices that still continue to this day can be traced back to the ancient Roman and Norse civilizations. Let's start at the beginning. Do either of you know what a pagan actually is? The word's thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean?
Chantal, I feel like you
It's
could
fair.
answer this better than
No,
me.
I don't. Or if I do, it's one of those like back of the mind things where she says it, I'll be like, right.
Or it's like you can describe it, but like, what is it? So
Yeah.
the word pagan was originally used by early Christians to describe polytheistic Romans. And polytheistic means they worship more than one god. So it really just
Okay.
meant non-Christian. Anyone who's a
Okay.
Yeah.
non-Christian who's like
Was a pagan.
the earth and its energy, they're like, you're
Well,
a
yeah,
pagan.
that makes sense because yeah, a lot of things are pagan when you talk to any other religion.
So I mean,
Okay.
you all knew kind of what it was, and that's basically what it was. So early Christians traveled all over Europe to spread their religion, and they were actually quite interested in the traditions that currently existed in these areas, such as winter solstice,
I
which
just
which
backpacking.
is a couple days ago is when it first started.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Krampus went around on December 5th and stole your children and beat the shit out of them with a birch stick. But yeah.
That's
Oh my
so
gosh.
crucial. How did you miss that
So
part?
they're gone at this
Yeah.
point. Okay.
Yeah. The bad children are taken care of. Don't worry.
Do you
Oh,
get them
well, my kids
back?
are so good. It's
Or
totally
do you try again for more
It
kids? Like,
depends
what do
how
you
bad they were.
really? It's the parents' fault.
It's really Christianity's fault, okay? Just saying.
Hey, sometimes
everything
if my
circles
kids act
back.
up, I guarantee I did everything in my power.
You
to
gotta
make that
start
not
bring
happen.
Krampus
If you
back
have
into
to
this.
resort to Krampus, you have to resort to Krampus. What
I might
can you
have
say?
to. I'm like, look, kids.
So
Sorry.
these
Krampus is
early leaders thought that it was easier to convert these people to Christianity. Like I said, if they have similar festivals and celebrations going on, almost like don't get confused. Like don't go to your celebration, come to ours. We have more lights.
No. Yeah.
One of the biggest elements is taking winter solstice, normally on December 22nd, which is the shortest day of the year, and
Mhm.
sneaking Jesus's birthday into the mix. So they landed on December 25th. December 25th was not Jesus' birthday, which I think at this point everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
Likely his was in the spring because they also love, what's it called? Good Friday. Like that's his real birthday.
Oh, I thought it was in the summer, but
No,
spring, summer.
No,
Okay.
Good Friday is
Lambs.
his death.
Whatever, Chantel, okay?
So
Sorry,
when do
I
they-
was real religious. I remember
I mean,
this shit.
I knew
Sometime in the
December
spring.
25th was never the actual day.
See, but
And
like
if you
we
don't
don't
get
know.
into it, that was originally my topic, and I do have a lot of information on that.
you can if I go on to a next section I haven't talked about it, bring it up.
Yeah,
I don't have Jesus' actual birthday because no one really knows when it is, but it was thought to be in the spring. So the 25th was
Yes.
more symbolic, and it was used to absorb the traditions of the Saturnalia festival celebrated by the Romans, and that is picture 1.
I love it.
This
I want
is
to
like
be
a
there. Party.
the best party ever. So the next 2 photos are all about this festival, so please enjoy as I go through. The Romans celebrated this time of the year called Saturnalia, which was a time to give thanks to the Roman god of agriculture, Saturn. The Saturnalia festival was usually celebrated between the 17th and 24th of December, leaving December 25th to be considered the big day, like the big finale, called
big one.
Brumalia. So Brumalia is the Christmas day. During this time, it said that literally everyone took part in the fun. Even the slaves of the Roman Empire were given the freedom to eat, drink, dance, and enjoy into the celebration. You know,
Alright.
that's
So generous.
Terrible.
Everyone's day off.
I know, it's
That's
just
why
kinda
we
like,
get the day off. Got it.
like you're still
Yeah.
shitty, but like, okay. So aside from Saturn, one of my other favorite Greek gods was also celebrated, Dionysus. This is the god of
Ooh.
wine.
yeah.
And he was celebrated with wild revelry, feast, drunkenness, and merrymaking over 12 days. Probably where the 12 days of Christmas comes from, but I actually
Mm.
didn't look it up.
Where you just get a shit ton of birds. Yeah, got
Makes
it.
sense.
So many birds.
So 7 of the 12 days are birds.
and there's one where you're
I'm
like,
fine with that.
oh,
I don't mind birds. I know some people hate birds.
Okay, yeah,
I
but
think
could you
they're-
get
a lot.
that many birds in your house? We're talking 7 days, but we're probably
Yeah.
talking like 30 birds.
and
if
there's
not
also
more.
there's one where it sounds like it
I don't
could
want any
be,
geese, that's for sure.
I think geese are involved.
I don't want them laying either.
You get
There's
some gold rings at
ones-
one point, and you think
That's
you
right.
finally have a break,
5.
and then the
5
7th
gold
day comes in,
rings.
and they're
Hold-
like,
no, hold on. But there's one
What's
of
the
them.
price of gold these days? Because
It
we'll
could
all
be-
work out. I
Could be
don't
the
know.
rings or could be the Lords of Leaping, but one of them sounds like something normal, and it turns out that it's actually birds.
it's
and
still
you're
a
like-
bird.
It could
Yeah,
be the
4
rings,
calling
and it's like a
birds,
ring.
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves.
But
and
there's
a
more.
partridge.
But there's even
Yeah.
more birds.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
there's the geese, 7 geese a laying.
7 geese a laying. Yeah,
But I'm
sorry,
saying
so
that
you're right.
12
His day
pipers
says-
piping.
Yeah, but
Okay, we'll
okay,
go through
those-
this at the end.
11
We'll let-
swans is
we'll-
swimming.
But the pipers aren't even pipers. They're like
Oh,
the bird piper. Like
You
they're
don't get it
all
wrong.
birds.
We'll end it with the 12 days of Christmas.
I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna stick to it. So Dionysus' birthday was also supposed to be around December the 25th. So just again, they keep finding similarities here, but let's just make this the birthday. Everyone seems to be taking it. The Roman equivalent of this god was Bacchus, and his festival was called Bacchanalia, and that was also marked with wildness and excess,
Okay.
which that sounds great.
Right.
There was just one very, very dark part to it. And of course, it has to be. So this next section is from a website called History Cooperative. History Cooperative.org. So the .org is like legit. So,
Yeah.
quote, an innocent Roman citizen would be elected as the Lord of Misrule for a period of 30 days of the festival. This was a temporary king of sorts who would preside over the wild partying and drunken antics during the celebration. And on the last day, this Lord of Misrule would be sacrificed to Saturn on the altar.
Oh my god.
And this
So
marked the
it's
end of
not-
anarchy and a return to social conventions.
Oh my god. It's like the purge at the end. You just go crazy.
Like, can you imagine the first time they ever elected someone? Oh, so cool, I'm king for a month. And like the fine print is like, we're gonna kill you. at
Yeah,
the
we're
end.
gonna knock you out though.
By the way, you're dead.
So if you recall, I made an amazing Yule joke at the start of this. So now I'm gonna tell you more about
Yes.
Yule.
Okay.
So Yule was celebrated by the Norse people who had settled in Northern Europe, and this was modern day Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Germany, Netherlands, and much more. So picture 3, which is the creepy looking man looking over his shoulder holding a bowl and a log.
Yeah.
I love him.
That's the Yule log.
Okay.
which they
So
still
it's
do
not a
today.
cake.
Well, it is a cake now, which I would
Yeah.
much prefer than a piece of wood.
I love a Yule
Right.
log.
So, and this just sounds so nice. So, Yule consisted of a 12-day celebration with bonfires, feasting, and drinking. Those are like three of my favorite things.
That is
It's a good time of
great.
year. I
There
love
was
the
a
holidays.
there
I
was
want
a
to go back to
Yule
my brother's. They
tree.
have a fireplace
Bon-
outside.
I know, fucking the country. There was a Yule tree which would be decorated,
Okay.
and a large.
What? Who else
And that-
decorates trees?
I'm going to bring that up again. And a large Yule log to keep the families warm as they ate a large roast and drank.
that
the
wasn't
Yule
common
t-
back then.
The Yule tree is a modern day Christmas tree, perhaps. I mean, it's hard to tell, but likely. The modern Christmas tree probably originated in Germany, but even in ancient Rome, the people used to hang small metal ornaments on trees outside their home during Saturnalia. So do you see all the different little tiny threads coming
Right. It
together?
wasn't
And no red
because
threads.
Queen Victoria brought Christmas trees to like probably
I'll-
England and
I'll tell
therefore-
you when Christmas became
because she was
actually more
married to
popular.
a German man.
Well,
So-
Santa's Christmas or Saint Nick's Christmas?
or
or do
Father
you know?
Christmas.
Well, okay.
Okay, let me just keep going. I don't have
I
too
think
much more.
Father was Saint Nick. Yeah,
Well, they're
We'll let
all
her finish.
essentially the same. They're all
the
from
same
different
thing.
cultures.
It's just changed over time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So each ornament had some kind of association with a god or even the family's patron saint. The early Germanic tribes decorated trees with fruits and candles in honor of Odin, which I find that very cool. And then
Mhm.
even further back, evergreen trees and wreaths and garlands made of them were significant to the Egyptians, Hebrews, and Chinese, and they
Okay.
represented
Oh.
eternal life. So it's just like there's so much more to it than just
Yeah.
my Canadian Tire tree I've had for a couple years.
I feel like Christianity just came in and was like, let's jump
I
on
like
this
this.
bandwagon.
I like this.
I like this.
Yeah,
I like
We're gonna take
this.
They're like,
those and take
everyone's doing
this.
it, so we might as well. But we're
Let's
gonna
just
make
do
it
it.
bigger and better.
And there's going to be more guilt and shame involved.
Guilt, shame, more presents, more feeling guilty if you can't buy presents,
Mhm.
more everything,
Uh-huh.
just more.
Just more. And we're going to say it's about Jesus, but really it's about
No, that's
ye-
how you instill the
commercialism.
guilt.
Mm.
That Jesus is how you instill the guilt.
Right.
So as a child growing up in the 90s, I used to color so many Christmas coloring sheets. I used to love to draw in the holly berries because I liked how jaggedy the holly was. I'm like, what a cool plant.
Fair.
And
Yeah.
the red and green is a classic. It's so nice. And I,
Mhm.
still on like cards, I still draw them because they're nice. So,
Megan, you and I would have 100% been friends as little children.
oh,
too.
we'd have stickers, but like
I
not
love
in the
stickers.
book because the sticker
My
then you
mom
can't stick.
recently sent me a package of Christmas stickers. I never stuck anywhere because I didn't want to
Of course you
That was
didn't.
me.
Them.
That was me. I used to have a sticker book and I would eventually stick them. And one of my favorites were different dog breeds that were fuzzy. And they were just like so
Oh.
so cute.
Guys, I still have stickers that I go through my package and I'm like, I'm going to give these to my niece and nephew when I go and visit them because I still haven't stuck them. I am 36 years old.
it's hard to stick them because what if you want to stick
One
them
of the
somewhere
best
else?
gifts I ever got was one of those sticker books where you could restick. I'm like, I feel so much better about this
Oh,
because
that's-
now I can move
I
them
I
used
never-
some
if
stickers, I think, on, yeah, so we got my nephew one of those finally. So they stopped going on chairs and walls now. They're in a book.
Our
But,
fireplace is
and me,
just
and me,
stickers.
because
saw
I
that.
became a big sticker paper apparently the last time I visited. Not the last time, the time before.
See, that's such a waste because you really can't restick them now if they're on
Yeah,
human
those
bodies.
kids don't have the
so-
same
You didn't
respective
understand.
stickers that we did. So
Anyways, I forget where I was going with this. So continue.
So we're going to talk about holly and mistletoe.
Mhm.
And those are your last two photos. Holly has been used since the days of early pagans as a decoration for midwinter festivities when it was brought into the home to keep evil spirits away. That's
Oh,
cool. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So it was to
Gonna
keep
pick up some
Krampus away.
holly. But Krampus wasn't a real spirit. He was just labeled that according
know.
to.
So when Christianity came along, he was. Oh wait, was this before Christianity?
Yeah.
Oh, so no, they wanted
Yeah.
him in. Sorry. At this time,
Kramp-
he could get past
Krampus
Holly.
brought
They're
the
pro
holly.
Krampus.
He was like,
Yeah,
"Here,
he
I
was
brought
like,
more
"Here's your holly,
Yeah.
bitch. You guys will have
So,
a good feed next year."
The ancient Romans believed this, and they used it in their Saturnalia festivals, which now we all know so much about. The
Mhm.
Saturnalia festivals.
Mhm.
Next is mistletoe, which I'll be honest, I never really knew like where it came from or like what it really looked like. It's very simple. It's actually a parasitic plant, which I did not know, and it'll
Yeah,
actually
it's
kill.
don't get that and don't get holly. No,
Well, they're toxic to
what's
animals.
what's the big yeah, to animals. If you have animals, what's the other
I'm gonna
one?
cover that. I'm gonna cover that.
Okay, good.
So
Okay.
mistletoe was held sacred by the Norse and Celtic Druids and North American Indians. I believe, a Celtic Druid member. I don't know. Maybe I was back in another life. In
Sure.
cultures across pre-Christian Europe, mistletoe was seen as a representation of romance, fertility, vitality, and a symbol of peace. Anyone standing below it would receive tokens of affection. When enemies met beneath mistletoe, they had to lay down their weapons and observe a truce until the next day. This is how the tradition
Oh,
of
okay.
kissing under a mistletoe likely began. So how do you have like people
A
say
truce?
let's not fight to like full on making out?
Patriarchy.
I love it.
Patriarchy.
You can tell that a man wrote this, right? And then they kissed. They kissed so hard.
And then they used
Well, I love
tongues and they like
the-
kissed.
And
I
he was
the
like,
truce.
"Boy, your sword is so large. Do you like sharpen that on a
Do you
stone?" It's
wanna,
like, "Yeah. You want
Put
me
your
to teach you how to
sword
sharpen
down
it?"
right now? I
Has
want to
anyone
lay some sword. You
ever-
want to lay some sword with me under this mistletoe?
Have either of you ever kissed under mistletoe?
No.
I don't think so.
I haven't either.
I thought it was a thing that people did like in
Okay,
old
so
like
next time we're all
1940s.
together, do we hang some mistletoe?
Are
Obviously.
you trying to kiss us?
Of course.
No, I'm trying
Or
not
s-
to fight with you with my sword. That's
Yeah,
obviously
you're
I
trying
want to
to
lay
end
some
the-
sword with
yeah.
you guys.
So this is lace. I know that so badly you want to say lace and pipe. I know you do.
I'm laying my sword. Okay. How dare you call it a pipe?
Let's lay our swords down. I'll take you out of those robes that you're wearing. Let me unzip your tunic. Oh, wait,
Those
they didn't have
robes
zippers.
look
This
real
is
hot right now under this mistletoe.
Definitely making this episode explicit.
If it wasn't already.
Right.
And anyway, that's how we get to modern day mistletoe, where you hang it in a ball over your doorway and you're like, oh, house and light sexual assault. Anyway.
I can't stop myself. I'm under the mistletoe, ma'am.
So now largely associated with Christmas celebrations, holly and mistletoe were once part of pagan rituals and ancient superstitions. But be warned, mistletoe and holly are considered to be moderately to severely toxic, and ingesting the leaves could be dangerous. Like,
Don't eat
who's-
it.
I've
Who's
never
doing
thought
that?
about ingesting
I
them,
know.
so that's
How many
imagine-
mushrooms did you take?
It's probably mostly
Maybe
kids
lay
and
off.
pets. So just be aware. Here is a Finland fun fact. The
Okay.
sun goddess Bui, spelled Beiwe, Bui, I don't know, was
Okay.
celebrated during the same time frame at the end of December. She, because I said goddess, but like she was said to ride on a sleigh made of reindeer bones pulled by a white reindeer.
Reindeer bones?
I know.
Okay, that sounds pretty badass.
Right? It didn't fit anywhere. I'm like, well, I'm putting this in somewhere. That sounds fucking
I
cool.
love that.
The way?
I love that for her.
Yeah, it's my reindeer. I know it's super white. I wash it all the time.
And yeah, I know my sleigh's made of bones and then
Yeah.
it's super cool, but like you can't have it.
No, because those are my past reindeer.
It took
so.
a lot of reindeer to make this. There's a lot of magic happening.
I imagine she's like flowing white hair.
Yeah.
And she's always just kind of like primming her.
And a
you know.
flowing red dress.
Oh.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I saw more like
But
blue.
From the
like
blood of all
frosty.
the
No, because
reindeer,
it's
she
Christmas, it's
slayed
red.
for her sleigh.
Oh,
Let me
she
just-
slayed. Oh,
Oh,
does she ever slay?
She
slay.
slays.
Sorry, we're millennials. I'm so sorry. She's in white sometimes, and in blue sometimes, and in
Really?
red sometimes. There's
Okay.
nothing consistent.
So-
Okay.
So it's kind of like
Where's all
lady in
the
white,
different
lady in
colors?
red, lady in black. Like it's one of those.
Yes. So we're gonna cover that later because that's cool.
Is dancing with me.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that the song that she has in her like reindeer and she like turns it up and she's like anyway. So after hundreds and hundreds of years, when was the first modern Christmas celebrated? Well, historians think it was around the 4th century.
Oh,
Wow.
A long
yeah,
time
no,
ago.
actually, I
Time
knew
ago.
that. Yeah, yeah.
It was a little more of a party vibe back then because those pagans and those heathens were still holding on really tight to like let us have fun. So believers would attend church. They would exchange Christmas gifts and they would celebrate like by getting super drunk in kind of a carnival like atmosphere, which sounds amazing. And
Sounds
it
like
wasn't
us.
Yeah, 100%. And it wasn't until the 17th century when the lame Puritans kind of took it over and really like sucked the fun out of everything.
The
So
lame Puritans. I was
the
wondering if that's what they're actually called, or did Megan just call them
the lame Puritans,
that?
that's what I'm gonna call them.
Okay.
It's just called the Puritans, but So
Okay.
it was, where was I? So at that point, the Christmas traditions came a lot more sedate, and they tried to stop the different classes from mixing, which is like, it's just like, oh my God, let people have fun.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, this is hilarious. In England in 1645, the government just straight up canceled Christmas for being too decadent.
Oh, you guys are having fun? We're gonna cancel that.
I'm sorry, are you having milk
I'm sorry, I'm
chocolate?
too much
I'm
for
gonna have to
you.
shut this down.
Yeah.
So the lame, super uptight, and not fun Christmas traditions followed the Puritans to the Americas when they colonized in the early 1600s, and it wasn't until much later, the mid 1800s, that Americans actually began to take it back to the more generous, fun, celebratory event that it had been. And it was not until 1870 it became a federal holiday.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Oh,
it's
wow.
not even that
Okay,
old.
but we learned from like Lindsay's episode in the Chicago molasses that like people did not get vacations for a very long time.
Like,
That was
they're like a 5-day work week, 9 to 5. What are you talking about?
yeah.
That was the Eastland disaster.
Yeah. That
Um,
was they were
That
like,
they had
"Oh,
like
this
a
is
company
your
picnic,
one
and they're
week
like, "This
or your
is
one
our day
day." Yeah.
off," because you
I
only had like a day off a week.
I have to imagine that this. I'm
A
thinking
year,
that.
not a week.
So you know how in the Christmas Carol, like everything sucks for Scrooge, like right before his
Oh,
like
by the way, I
awakening.
forgot to
What?
mention I
Well, oh
love
God,
Bill Murray Scrooge.
I have.
Also another one that I love
I've
to
never
watch.
seen that.
Mm.
Well,
And I guess I'm gonna watch that at
let's talk about
Groundhog Day.
movies right after. I have one more sentence. So 1870 federal holiday, and then Coca-Cola created Santa Claus, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Very
I
good.
love it.
I learned a lot today. Thank you both.
Um,
I'm
And this
glad.
is literally like I'm just dipping toes because there was so much, and I just wanted to get like a few.
Fun fact, though, the least common birthday is December 25th. I think I knew that.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. The
Okay.
most common birthday is September 9th.
I don't
Yep.
think anyone's listening right now, so I'll just say really, really quickly. Christmas movies I watch with my family. With my mom, we just found one. It's brand new, and we don't spend Christmas together often because of like distance and time and money and all that stuff. But it's a Hallmark movie, and I forget the full name. It's like Christmas at the Biltmore or a Biltmore Christmas, and it's this beautiful like Gilded Age mansion in Tennessee, I think, and it's like stunning. And it's
Okay.
it's like, and it's so good. Like, I love Hey Hallmark, and this one I actually do love. The premise is that they are shooting a period movie at like a 1940 movie at this beautiful mansion. And somehow one of the writers finds this. Okay, this part's cheesy. Okay, she finds a snow globe. That's like a little like music part to it. And whenever it's interacted with, it sends her back in time to the
I feel like I've
original
heard of
movie. So
this.
there was one filmed in the 40s, and there was like this
Okay.
mysterious death or disappearance. And now
Mm-hmm.
in present time, they're remaking the movie. So like the set and like the outfits are all 1940s, which like, I live
So
for.
cute. Ugh.
So cute. But the story is so cute, and it's a little bit moderate, and I just love that like old-timey thing. So my mom and I are
Mm.
obsessed. So that movie's amazing. And then I also watch A Muppet Christmas Carol
Oh,
every
yeah,
single
classic.
year. And then Aliens versus Predator.
I
That's the
always
best
watch Die
Christmas.
Hard.
I wasn't going to mention that.
I
Just
used to
implied.
watch Die Hard with some friends on Christmas Eve. But sometimes we put it on. But it is a good one.
Have
Definitely
you
love
guys
Die Hard.
watched A Castle for Christmas?
Yes.
No, but that sounds like a cute one
Mhm.
too.
I actually,
Okay.
it was the year was born that I started getting into like the Hallmark Christmas movies and
so
the
cheesy,
but,
cheesy ones
like-
on Netflix, and like what was the one you mentioned the other day, Megan?
Oh,
The,
so this one is in
um,
Hallmark, but same deal. A Christmas Prince.
Prince, right? Christmas
Right.
Prince. I watched all
God,
three
that
of them.
movie is so bad. I love
Okay,
it.
so
It's so
Megan, A Castle for Christmas has to be on your list. It has
Okay, I'm
Brooke
watching.
Shields and Carrie
Yes.
Els?
Right. He was
Love
him.
Wesley
as
in
you wish.
Prince. What was the
Also,
the
he was
Princess
in Saw.
Bride.
Princess Bride? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a great movie. It's awful.
Are they
but
in
it's a great
Scotland?
movie.
Yes.
Yes, they're in Scotland.
Also, I just watched another one from Scotland, and the main character was her name's Lindsay, which I was like, oh, and it's played by the actress who was in Mean Girls.
Lacey. She's in every Hallmark.
That's
right.
on the newest one. That's
She's
the
in everything.
Frosty,
And
Frosty Christmas one.
Hot Frosty.
No,
Hot Frosty.
Oh no, that's a different one I'm thinking of then.
But
you
she
sure?
is in that. She's in all of them. She's in half of them.
Right. So anyway, there's another one with her in it, and takes place in Scotland. I will share it with you.
Oh,
I'm
so
gonna
it's
watch
not
the
Hot
new,
Frosty. Okay.
No, it's not Hot Frosty.
I also need to watch all of the Lindsay Lohan ones because
Right,
I
I'm gonna watch the
love.
new Lindsay
So
Lohan
there
one.
is the
I love her
first one called
comeback,
Falling
like-
for Christmas, which is the one
No.
where she goes on a ski trip and then she's like, I
Amnesia?
forgot my memory.
I
I
saw
forgot my
that one.
memory. I can't remember, but I've forgotten. Why is my boyfriend telling me I shouldn't drink anymore tonight?
I'm not done. There is more tequila in the other room right now.
guys, I finished my picture. Anyways, she's like, I have amnesia, and it's really cute. And then the new one is Our Little Secret, which I just need to get my boyfriend high enough
A
so that
love
we can watch
child?
it together.
I know. I need to watch that one. Okay, so the one I was talking about is A Merry Scottish Christmas, and it is starring
Ooh.
Gretchen Wieners, aka
Gretchen
Lacey.
and none
Wieners.
for
Shepherd.
Gretchen Wieners. There's one that I can't even remember any
Is it
details.
on Netflix?
Wait, did you guys ever watch the show How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You know I say boats on at least every third episode. So, yes.
Major disappointment. So, do you remember when Ted is working or is going to a wedding and the cake maker is then going to get married and they have this like run off with me? And she, like, leaves.
Yes.
So she is in like again 100 Hallmark movies. So I see her. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you're a bad girl. You bad.
Hey,
You're bad.
I know you.
Bad girl. But like she's a very like pretty, very charismatic. But I'm like,
she is. Yes.
bad decision in that. And so I don't even know if it's her, but there's one where it's like, girl from the big city, big executive job, and she loses her memory, and then she's just with this man and his daughter for Christmas, and like she doesn't know who she is, and then like all the TV execs she works with. Oh God, I just can't even get into it. It is so bad, but like I can't stop watching. It's like a
I
train
know.
wreck.
I live for those. I don't know what.
Oh.
I think for me it was maybe becoming a mom and like softening or
Guys.
something. I don't know, but I am obsessed.
I
I
was
was
like
like,
really, really bad.
if
Okay.
you're here, write us and say hot
I made it.
frosty.
I
How about-
survived Coastmas.
How about this? You survived Coastmas if you know what we ended on, which will be this: the actual 12 days of Christmas. 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping.
Wait, are those real pipers or are they birds?
I thought they were
Okay,
like
if you ask
trumpet
questions, I
players.
cannot survive. Just let her get through this.
10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden wings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Free sweater.
Thank you everyone for joining us for our first Coastmas.
Coastmas.
And we're really sorry about this, okay?
Yeah, we apologize.
Really
Thank
sorry.
you for
Friends
being
for a really
here
long
if you're
time?
here.
Okay.
No, that's just the tequila right now.
I need
We
to
hope
make
you're
myself
having a
another
great
drink.
day.
We're going to continue to talk. And
Yes. And
I
I'm
love
going to
you.
press stop.
Yeah, but you
Okay,
guys
let's
all get to
go.
leave. Okay, Merry Christmas, and we're so sorry for this. Bye.
Thank you for listening today. We loved having you. If you liked the episode, share with your friends, family, or anyone who would enjoy it. Also, take a moment to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Leaving us a like or comment really helps. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, please visit our coffee page at www.ko-fi.com/coastfiles. Email us at coastfilespod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at coastfilespod, or visit our website at www.coastfiles.com. You can find the sources for today's episode on our website. See you next week with a new episode.